jumped off of a cruise ship into water like cement. Broken, I had swim to shore. Hey man, what'd you do that for? Time collapses like a hit and run. Bullets fired from your tongue. When wild was untamed, the spirit is dead. Death is their domain. Get that in your head. When wild was untamed, the spirit is dead. Death is their domain. Get that in your head. I never had a plan B. The only person I could trust was me. Haunted by what the critics say.
Fuck them, who cares anyway?
Time collapses like a hit and run. Bullets fired from your thumbs. When wild was untamed, the spirit is dead. Death is their domain. Get that in your head. When wild was untamed, the spirit is dead. Death is their domain. Get that in your head. I jumped off a cruise ship. My life preserver was a straight jacket. I never had a plan B.
Hey man, what do you want from me?
Time collapses like a hit and run. Bullets fired from your tongue. When wild was untamed, the spirit is dead. Death is their domain. Get that in your head. When wild was untamed, the spirit is dead. Death is their domain. Get that in your head.
So, what do you have to say for yourself?
Hey, hello, we're back. Welcome to Los Angeles Nista, the Whittier, California episode. And what an episode it is. Our first guest representing Whittier, California was the nice and very smart, talented Carolyn Schaff, the president of the Friends of Pio Pico. That's the nonprofit arm that supports Pio Pico Mansion. And to my left, it's the one and only Travis Swope from Two Felons. What's up, man?
What's going on, Eddie?
Hey, so you're the second half of the Whittier episode. What do you say?
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I got to be honest. I thought it would be a great thing to have you on because we're going to talk skateboarding. We're going to talk what it takes to run an independent business in Whittier. And, you know, when it comes to skateboarding, I'm a customer. I love your store. You cater to the new school and old school. And I wanted to ask you, let's get to it. How long have you been in business in Whittier?
We just had our 9-year anniversary party last Saturday, May 29th, 2004. That's the day we opened.
Wow. And has it always been in that location on Lambert?
Never left Lambert Road gang since 2004.
So as far as an industry like skateboarding, it's very cohesive to the music industry, meaning trends come and go in that industry. Is it difficult to buy product from your vendors and stay on top of it? Does it require you doing a lot of research?
You know, initially it was, we got to get into this, figure out what we need to buy, what we need to sell. It had to move quickly or you're stuck with it. Then we kind of found a formula probably when the economy got real bad. We realized we were a complete niche, something different than anything in the area.
Sure.
You know, there's other shops similar to ours, and, you know, we're not the only real skate shop in California, but we're one of the top skate shops. And
absolutely
keep it old school with a new school flair, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you guys carry deep stock of all the Thrasher gear.
Love it.
You know, and to be honest, like, you know, I don't know too many stores on the east side doing that. When I say east side, I mean east of the river all the way into Whittier.
Right. Yeah, we're pretty much the most well-stocked when it comes to stuff like Independent, Thrasher, Dogtown, and all that Santa Cruz.
Right.
You know, we really like to focus on the old school PAL, all that. That's really where, besides our personal brand, that's where we focus.
So let me ask you a question. Bringing in deep stock levels of Thrasher and Santa Cruz and the PAL reissues, what's the average age demographic coming to your store to buy that stuff? It's men with kids and wives and jobs, right?
If we first started really bringing it in, I'm 38. It was dudes my age, older, you know, guys in their late 30s, early 40s, you know, some hanging in their early 50s, but there's been a big trend in the area and people just getting back to real skateboarding, and a lot of younger kids are starting to jump on it now.
Right. I see more kids, like a lot of the street skaters that look really young wearing Thrasher gear.
Yeah, they're up on it right now.
Yeah, and that was mostly like, that was considered old school.
Absolutely.
Surf school, or, you know, just like really like, you know, if wearing Thrasher gear, you were over 35 and you were skating pools.
That was a couple years back. That's the only people who wanted to rock it. Now everybody's getting with the program.
Yeah. So currently, you guys just came up on 9 years. Let's talk about your day-to-day work ethic. What do you have to do as a business owner to stay relevant and to let everyone know that you have this stuff?
You got to be out there, man. You got to tell every friend you have, every stranger you have. You need to be on Instagram. You need to be on Twitter. You need to be on Facebook. Well, I suck at Twitter. I'll tell you that right now. I got like no followers and I don't know how to tweet. But Instagram and Facebook, I'm there. I got my followers. I got my friends. Everyone has our back. Just got to put it out there and just let everybody know. But it's every day. There isn't a day you go by where you aren't touching base with your customers, and you have to.
You have to be
day.
Interactive now, right? You have to be.
If you want to be relevant,
if you want people involved,
if you want people to be a part of what you're doing, you have to.
Right now, I noticed you guys do barbecues for all the locals. Let's talk about that.
We feed the masses. We've been raising the neighborhood for 9 years.
I love it.
We've got kids who've been coming around since they were 9, 10, 11 years old. These are grown men now,
raising the neighborhood.
And they're bringing in their little brothers and their cousins, and some of them are bringing in their own kids and skating with us. You know, we do barbecues, we do parties, you know, we do skate events, we have contests, you know, We stay busy, dude. I mean, I live in that shop. You know what I mean? I'm there every day. I might get a day off here and there, but
For the most part, you're working every day.
well, I'm at home working. If I go on vacation, I'm texting, I'm emailing, I'm Facebooking, I'm taking care of business every day, 7 days a week. I sleep and I'm dreaming of what I need to do the next day.
I love it. That's passion.
That's you. That's you. I see
That's
you.
me?
I see you. You're me times 10, dude.
Oh,
You're
dude.
way more intense
I'm
than
flattered.
I am.
You know why? It's because I'm able to not drive my car around town. I'm on a bus, so I don't need to pay attention to the road. So I'm just going at it nonstop.
I got to learn to do that. I got to learn to.
But yeah,
I got to learn to take the bus to. I gotta take the bus. Got to take the bus to work.
Oh man, you know what? It can be done.
You got to teach my kid how to take the bus so he could go get a job. That'll
I'll
help.
teach you.
Yeah,
I'll
that'll
show the
help.
way. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Every experience I've had buying stuff from Two Felons, it's been great. And you guys just know you guys have great knowledge. You guys have a great selection, a great establishment. And I just noticed, I haven't attended any of the barbecues that you guys do, but I see it's very consistent. And I just like how you connect yourselves with the community. Say you've been feeding the neighborhood, raising the neighborhood, for that long. And I think that's what lacks in a lot of neighborhood skate shops is there's this bit of arrogance that some of these skate shops have, and they're very cliquey. You guys got your own thing going on, but you guys are very open, come as you are.
You know what? Everybody's welcome in our store. The more the merrier. All walks of life. I mean,
So the
if
football
you come,
players, the jocks,
oh, dude,
the nerds,
you bring them in.
the
There's
long hairs,
punkers,
the punks,
bikers, skinheads,
bikers.
cholos, and they all
Yeah.
come.
Cholas.
They break bread together. Yeah.
It's on.
A shout out to the girls that call themselves the Firme Heinas that come to the shop. They're kind of nuts. Some girls that come to the shop.
Do they party?
Yeah, we got crazy people who come to our
The
store.
Feed Behind Us party?
Yeah, we've got crazy friends. We've got our customer base. They're all nuts. They're all nuts. I mean,
love
the
it.
thing is that you come in and we have the most, right wing. We got some great Mormon customers, and it's like a trip. Like we have the guys that come in the full outfits on the missionaries.
Sure.
They come and they buy skateboards and they buy their dicky pants from us and all that
I
stuff.
love it.
And then you get the guys who come in and they're just like, can I borrow a bearing? You know what I mean? It's like from one end to the other. And then we got some real hardcore, there's gangsters up in our
Yeah.
store. And the thing is that, but it's all love and
It's great.
everybody loves each other and everybody loves the store and they're all, all a part of it. It's all family.
Well, you see, that's what the reason why skateboarding and music is such a huge component in my life, and that's the foundation that I build off of. Those ethos is because both music and skateboarding is universal. If you do the same trick in France that you do in front of your shop at Whittier, you're gonna get the same reaction.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
gonna feel the same way. There's that thread that like ties the world together.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it's like all skaters have the same needs.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's like, it's not just because you ride a skateboard doesn't mean you're a skater.
Well,
it's that-
fashion aside, they all got to ride a skateboard if
Yeah.
they're skating. They
Yeah.
got to get on a
I saw
piece of
the-
wood. They got to get on trucks and wheels and bearings.
Listen, I go to Bellflower twice a week now to skate. And I skate with a friend of mine who's 50, and he rips. All right? And skateboarding, it's just, it's for everybody. And I saw this great quote from Lance Mountain that said, if you're not a skateboarder just because you ride a board, you're a skateboarder because you can't get off your board.
Absolutely.
That's a great quote. Now let's talk about some of your current stock. You guys are carrying those Pal Peralta reissues.
Yeah. We have. We this weekend sold through almost all of them. I got a couple of the Bones Brigade reissues, but we carry a lot of the old school reissue boards. Santa Cruz, Dogtown, Powell, Hosoi. But we do have a few left, and they're rad boards.
That's awesome. There's I'm going to reminisce really quick. There used to be a skate shop right by you guys next to AM/PM called Skate Cafe.
Skate Cafe, yeah.
And it was so righteous because they had a mini ramp in there. And this was like 90, I was in high school. So this is between 89 and 93.
Yeah.
And you had a mini ramp. It was 3 feet high. It was about 12 feet wide. And it took up half the store. And the other half was like the counter with the trucks and the bearings and the hardware. And just a small selection of shirts. And they would actually make you sign a waiver. Your parents had to sign a waiver, right? And it would be $5 a skate all day, right? So after school, we all went to Pioneer. We'd get our friends from Cal High and Whittier, and we'd meet there, and we'd skate from 4 to 8, 4 hours. And it was just so intense. So me personally, being 38 years old from that area, and when I go visit family and friends and I pass by your store or just get close to that area, it's nice seeing that store standing, you guys 9 years into it, and then directly across the street having such amazing memories of like skating with Lester Kasai there, and like, you know, people just being so like innocent because we're not out of high school yet, and we haven't seen the world, and our whole life is that mini ramp.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean?
Not
And just-
jaded by the world yet.
Yeah, just going for it. And it's like, wow. I mean, those are just intense times. But something about Lambert, man. It was Skate Cafe. Now it's you guys.
Yeah, well, you know, hopefully we hold it down as long as we can.
Yeah. So, do you guys sponsor team riders?
Yeah, we have a small team right now. We've sponsored, I think we did the numbers, about 37 different people in the 9 years. And we used to sponsor all the way down to like Chula Vista and then kids out in Palm Springs. And
Wow.
yeah, we
guys
were
have
out
a
there.
far reach.
We were out there for a while. We had a peak in about 2006 where we were kind of going worldwide and shipping our stuff all over the world before the economy like really took a dump on us.
Wow.
But yeah, we have right now a tight little team. There's about 4 or 5 guys on our team, and they're all rad, and they all, you know, do their own separate type of thing, and they all rip, and they're good kids.
Now, are they all from Whittier?
All the ones that are on the team right now are all from Whittier, but one's a La Mirada head.
Okay. And are they all street skaters or all well-rounded?
We've got one or two that are just strictly street, and then I got one guy who just tears a park apart, but he's a street skater also, and he'll just murder any bowl. His name's Alex Asher. He's going somewhere right now, yeah.
That's killer.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys do skate trips at all?
You know, we used to when we had money to do so. You know, we actually, when, you know, we used to do stuff with Wee Man back in like 2006, 2007.
Yeah. What was the relationship there? Like what did you guys have going on?
He, just like you, just came to the store because of his best friend, a dude named Heavy Metal Chuck, was our sales rep for Independent. And on our 2 or 3 year anniversary, 2-year anniversary, I think, he brought him in and he said, hey, come down to the guy's shop and, you know, like just stoke him out and show up. Me and him just hit it off, cracking jokes, and we kind of became friends. And then we did a guest board. We said, hey, do a Two Felons guest board. Next thing you know, we produced a bunch of boards for him and a bunch of shirts. And, you know, he and I became real good friends at the time. And, you know, it kind of ran its course. And we're still friends. We still communicate, and we're still good. But we used to go on stuff with him. We went up north and opened up another skate shop in their grand opening in the middle of their town. It was like the entire town came, and our whole skate team ripped it up. It was rad. It was a good time. It was a good time. Economy came to, you know, did what it did to us and did to us all. And, you know, we kind of brought it all back just to Whittier. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that general area. We're not trying to be worldwide anymore or anything like that. I mean, we're not against it, but we're really focusing on, I realized that you have to shop where you live and shop where you work, and that's it. You know, that's it. If you shop outside of the city that you're living in, the tax dollars are going to that city.
Well, those are one of the things you realize in adulthood is how closely everything is connected.
Yeah.
And it's just like I was telling our previous guest, Carolyn, from the Pio Pico Mansion, that, you know, taking these tours when out on field trips, you wouldn't retain the information you do now. But now, in taking this yesterday, you know, the tour consists of Pio Pico giving land to workmen and all these other people, and you see those street names around California. You know what I mean? And you're like, wow, it all comes from here. There's that thread that ties everything together, and everything is very connected. So when you're actually purchasing from an independent business and not Walmart or not Best Buy or not a chain like a Zoomies,
Stay out of
Or
the
something.
mall.
Stay out of
Two
the mall.
felons ain't in the mall.
no mall core.
Yeah.
Say no to the mall.
Stay out of the mall. If you're going to buy a skateboard, don't ever buy it from a mall store unless you want to get something that's going to make you
Right.
fall.
Now, as far as the vision for Two Felons, tell me what happened when the vision just popped up in your head? How did it happen, and why did you open a store?
You know, it was a series of events that just kind of led to it. It's kind of a longer story, but to give you the smaller version, I was gambling professionally for a while, got some extra money, made some T-shirts.
How long was your gambling career?
2 or 3 years.
Was this like, were you like inside the Commerce Casino?
No, I was a blackjack player. I didn't do poker.
Just out of the pad?
Yeah, I would go to, we went to Atlantic City, Laughlin, Vegas, all the Indian reservations. I was just playing blackjack and winning. It's not that I was trying to be a professional blackjack player. I just got really lucky for a long time.
You got good at it, and you were lucky, both.
And I started reading books, learning about it. And then I went into different stuff and then made these T-shirts as a joke that just said Dub T on them. And people were like, what does that mean? And that's our other brand. And Dub T just means white trash, but a short way and like a secret way of saying it.
Yeah.
So we made a bunch of those. And next thing you know, that year I had like thousands of shirts in my living room and I had no place to sell them. And it was like, I got to, like I'm selling them out of the trunk of my car. My brother with another friend was selling our shirts at some other venue, and we started selling skateboards as well. And the thing is that me and my brother, when we were kids, that's how we got around everywhere. We didn't take the bus ever. We took our skateboard everywhere we went. And, it was like, hey, that was something that we cared about, something we really had a passion for when we were younger. We kind of got into some rough stuff when we were teenagers. That's where Two Felons comes from.
You want to go into that?
Yeah, I don't care. It's all, and I'm an open book, dude.
Yeah, you're very transparent.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how you came up with Two Felons.
Well, leading into everything, we were trying to figure out a name. Now, we already had our white trash clothing and in the middle of Whittier, and we know the demographic doesn't really, fit. It's not 100% honky on Lambert.
There's some honky, there's some chola, and some paisa.
Yeah. The funny saying that we always say is if you're from Whittier, you must be Irish and Mexican because everybody you meet is both. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. So, we said, hey, what the hell are we going to call our store? When we decided to do the store, we're like, what are we going to call it? And my brother and I are bouncing names off each other, and they were just lame, and we couldn't think of anything that made any sense. And I just said, you know what? Fuck it. They're already going to find out when they do background checks, they're going to get a business license. I didn't know anything about business. They're going to do a background check, and they're going to find out that we got criminal records. So, you know what? Fuck it. Two Felons Skate Shop. Two Felons Skateboard Company. I had a vision for a bigger thing at the time. I said Two Felons Skateboard Company. That's what we did. We just called it Two Felons. And I went into the get the business license, and I was standing in line about 6 or 7 people back. This old lady calls up, Two Felons, pulled me out of line. I thought, great, she's going to tell me, hey, the city doesn't approve of your name. She's like, hey, what's the story? I just told her, yeah, I've got a felony conviction, a pretty serious couple felony convictions, and my brother did it as well. And, that's all behind us now. And, we're trying to move forward and, trying to open up a legitimate business. And she goes, yeah, my son's doing time up north right now, man. I love the name of your store. It's very unique. And she rubber stamped us, sent me on my way, pulled me on a line. And then I said, hey, you know what? We're going somewhere. The name means something to people.
You know why? Because you were just transparent and you accepted the past and you're leaving it behind and you're moving forward.
Absolutely.
That's it. And look now, 9 years into it.
Yeah.
That's great. So that's the backstory of the Two Felons name.
Yep.
It's not just, excuse me, pissing in the wind and saying, we're going to call it this. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
No, there's like some truth behind it, but it's, it's just part of life.
Well, you know what? Who doesn't have a felon in their family? And if they say they don't, they're lying.
Full of shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are there any Two Felons events coming up?
You know what? The next big fun one is our 4th of July barbecue.
That's coming up soon.
Yeah, we have a hot dog eating contest because not everybody can skate as good as the kids who come to our skate contest.
Right.
So we have a hot dog eating contest. We give $100 to the person who eat the most hot dogs. And then we have a push-up contest in the sun with all the people who just ate the hot dogs.
In the sun?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of hot dogs in the parking lot.
Hey, we got a caller. So all right, we got a caller. Let's take a call. Hey, you're on the air with Travis from Two Felons.
Hey, what's up? This is Alex calling. I'm from Seattle, representing Whittier.
Hey, what's up, man? Alex, how are you?
What's up, bro?
Hey, dude. Let me explain who this is. I moved to Whittier when I was 10, 1985. This is one of my best friends.
Sweet.
I got 2 best friends, and they're from Whittier. Both are from Whittier. This is one of them. He relocated to Seattle. He's calling. So what's up, man?
Yeah. Nothing much, man. Just doing that right now. Just I've been trying to get into this radio show and finally got in. So.
Well, thanks for calling. You know what I love? Some of the great memories with you is skating the Uptown Whittier Alpha Beta Banks. Remember the Alpha Beta Banks?
Oh yeah.
What's that off of Hadley, right?
Hadley.
Yeah.
Alpha Beta Banks, dude.
Hadley. Yeah.
So
my best memories are skating Skate Cafe inside the ramp.
the executive,
Yeah.
the consecutive frontside grind contest.
Oh yeah, Eddie won that.
Oh, I'm trying to bust him at the 6 foot bowl at Bellflower, man. I'm trying to set up my little recorder so you can hear the grinds.
Nice.
So you're gonna come down and skate with us in Whittier soon, or what?
Yeah, I'm trying to make my way back down there. I mean, I got some news. My wife got a job interview down there in Orange County, so I'm hoping she gets the position. And if she does, guess what? I'll be back in town.
Yeah. Hey, have you ever been to Two Felons?
I haven't.
Dude, I gotta take you there. Let's. Why don't you come down 4th of July and let's enter the hot dog eating contest.
Oh.
Let's get radical.
You know what? I'll win.
Everyone says that every year.
Everyone says it.
Everyone says that they're gonna win it.
I'm gonna win, dude. What do you say now? Yeah, right. Let's see.
Yeah, no, I've had people come in and say they're gonna win. They eat 2 hot dogs, throw up on themselves, and it's over.
Dude, I worked at Costco, man. We sell hot dogs all day.
Hey, you know what? I love a Costco hot dog.
And pizza. Hey, Alex, you know what's ironic is so Travis Swope here, the owner of Two Felons in Whittier, he's actually a blackjack player, man, and you're a skateboarder and you're a blackjack player also.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, come down, we'll hit the Morongo.
What's up with that?
Oh, yeah, I won $10,000 there at Morongo, and yeah, big money there. And
Let's go tear it up.
used to play at Commerce, And now that I'm living up here, I haven't played too much, but maybe when I get back down to LA, I'll start playing again.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Hey, well, thanks for calling, dude. Stay in touch this week.
What's that?
Thanks for calling.
Oh, yeah, no problem, dude. Take care, man.
All right, I'll be in touch. Thank you.
Washington.
A caller from Seattle, a childhood friend, Alex Ariano. I love it. I love it. So, yeah, I mean, he's a blackjack player.
Oh, that's
as
awesome.
well. Yeah. So skateboarding and cards, I think that's like a new
I don't know what the
hybrid.
connection is, but
Well, actually, he's a really good fisherman also.
I don't fish.
No?
No. I don't like anything on the water except for swimming, and that's it. I don't need a boat, none of the above.
So Travis, wrapping up the Whittier episode for tonight, I just want to say thank you very much. Have you ever been to Pio Pico Mansion?
I've passed it 1,000 times, and I wasn't even aware that it was something you could tour until tonight.
Isn't that cool?
Now I feel obligated to bring my children,
take
and
the
we'll
wife
be going.
and the children, and I'll put in the call so you guys get a real nice extended, thorough tour. It's really amazing.
I don't think my wife wants the extended, thorough tour. My wife doesn't like going to anything extended. She likes to rush through. Let's get it over with. So let them know that we'll take the quick tour.
Hold on.
Your brother's on the line.
That's the world famous bipolar bear, aka Fat Boy.
All right, let's get him on the line.
He's the one who just survived a bout with a devastating flesh-eating bacteria that almost killed him.
What's up, dude? Welcome back.
Hey, how you guys doing out there?
Well, I'm doing better that you're on the phone.
Yeah, I figured that once I heard your buddy call in from Seattle, I had to hurry up and try to call in before you guys ended this call.
Oh, that's cool, man. It's really good to hear your voice. I'm glad you made it through. You're alive and kicking. I saw the pictures from the weekend.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
to
I was trying to have fun, trying to stay out of
GoFundMe.com.
trouble.
Support Fat Boy. He needs some donations. Keep paying some of his bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate everyone who's helped us out, who's come to the shop for the last, 9 years. You know what I mean? Thanks to you. I'm glad you're doing good. I saw you that one time playing at the club in Uptown that one time. I want to go again.
Oh yeah, you saw my Bandits Casual play Phoenix 5-4. It was great. It was like September of last year.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the last time I saw you. I'm glad you're out and alive and kicking.
Yep, that's all we can do. We can only just take it day by day, right?
Yep, and live in the moment. Anything you want to say to all the Whittier heads out there?
Yep. But what do you call it? I'm glad that you're doing good. I like this station. I'm gonna have to listen more often.
Thank you, sir. Anything else?
No, that's it. I just want to tell my brother congratulations for being on there with you. Congratulations
Awesome.
to you for, being a great guy. Just someone we can count on when we need someone.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
No problem.
Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your evening.
You too. All right?
All right.
All right.
So that concludes the Whittier episode, and I'm going to leave you with a pre-recorded interview that I did with the Whittier Assistant City Manager, Nancy Mendez, last week over at Whittier City Hall. After this interview, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back in with some master vegan cooks that have their books out and are available. And we're going to have them on. It's going to be Blaine Gold and the Sexy Vegan. They're laughing over there. But it's true. When we come in, I'll spell it out for everyone. But I'm going to leave you with this unedited interview with myself and Nancy Mendez at City Hall. And we're going to get to it here. So let's enjoy it. Okay, so we're here with Nancy Mendez, City of Whittier.
City manager.
We'll edit that. I'm not worried about it, right? Okay, so we're here with Nancy Mendez, Assistant City Manager for the City of Whittier. We're here to speak about destinations for summer of 2013. Previously, we spoke about Pio Pico Mansion, and I wanted to get into that because I'm very familiar with them. And the whole time, I think myself and a lot of the community thinks it's in Pico Rivera, but it's actually Whittier. Can you explain the parameter? I mean, that's all Whittier, correct?
It is. Pio Pico State Historic Park is actually in the city of Whittier, although it's surrounded on several sides with Pico Rivera and a small piece of unincorporated LA County area. And the Whittier City Council has always been very interested in seeing the park be successful. And in fact helped probably 10 years ago. It was still had earthquake damage from the 1987 Whittier
earthquake. Wow.
And the city garnered some grant funds and then assisted the state to rebuild the mansion, the adobe. And you probably know, but I don't know if your listeners would, that the adobe is the last home of the last Mexican governor of Alta California, Pio Pico.
Pio Pico, right. Now, there's a volunteer system in place.
There is a volunteer board, and they work with the state park staff. The state parks, you may be familiar with their financial difficulties
Sure.
and their budget cuts, and so the Friends of Pio Pico and their board have stepped up to fill some of those gaps, and they've raised funds. The city donated $30,000, and the Friends donated $50,000 to keep the park open, at least limited hours for the next 2 years.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, as far as events at Pio Pico, there's something coming up.
They do hold events occasionally, and the one most, the event coming up next is on Saturday, June 15th, and it's all afternoon from noon to 5, and it's a fiesta. They call it Fiesta de Pio Pico, and it's free admission. They'll have live entertainment. There'll be music and performers and dancers and adobe brick making. They have an archaeological dig area that kids might be interested in seeing. They'll have different foods. It'd be very interesting, perhaps, for your listeners.
That's very exciting because the message I always want to convey is, to go see things in LA County via public transportation without a car. And the easy thing is that if someone's coming from Hollywood, they could take the red line to Union Station, the gold line to Atlantic and Beverly, and the line 10 Montebello bus from the gold line station, and we'll drop you off right in front of Pio Pico.
Yeah, there is a bus stop right on Whittier Boulevard.
So people could come as far as Hollywood, and it would be a $5 ride round trip.
Yeah.
I mean,
and free admission
free
for a
admission,
whole afternoon.
and you're walking, you're connecting with the city, you're seeing, you're saving the environment of more emissions.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's great. One thing I've been familiar with that I've attended once last year was the summer concerts.
The city hosts a summer concert series. Actually, Supervisor Don Kanabe also assists us with funding for the concerts, and we have concerts every Monday and Thursday evening at 2 different parks. Monday night is at Central Park in Uptown Whittier. Thursday night is at Parnell Park in East Whittier. The concerts start at 7, and they go between July 8th and August 15th. Wow. And they're tribute bands, and they'll have a classic rock night, and
Absolutely.
they'll have a mariachi night, and it's a very popular destination. You can bring a blanket, sit on the grass,
Absolutely.
bring your food, or you can purchase food on site, and we get a good crowd.
Yeah, I've been to the Central Park one last year, and I was pretty blown away. I go out and see a lot of live music and participate in playing as well. And I was very blown away by the quality of the sound system. And it was super loud. And, it's right there in a residential area. It was loud and clear and just great audio. And it was top-notch tribute bands. They were playing all the classic rock stuff.
Yeah,
and everyone had a great time. People were bringing, they had the blankets and the picnic food, and everyone had a great time. There were some vendors.
Yeah, it's not quite Hollywood Bowl, but it's a great local destination.
It's great, and there's a lot of greenery around. So
yeah, our parks are beautiful, and it's a great venue.
It's fantastic, and also we're speaking about earlier about taking the Line 10 bus from Atlantic and Beverly. If you just stay on it, it'll take you pretty much footsteps to Central Park, so people could figure it out and take that bus into Whittier as well. That's exciting. The farmers market that you guys have
this is our Uptown Whittier Association holds 2 farmers markets. They have one every Friday morning, and that goes year-round. And it begins at 8 in the morning and goes till just afternoon, usually around 1 o'clock. They're folding up. And this is certified locally grown produce.
Wow.
And so it's California grown, it's local, and so you're buying local, and they're not being transported large distances. Everything's very fresh. And they've just begun a second farmers market on Tuesday, late afternoon. They go from 3 to 7 p.m. And both of these are in Uptown Whittier, and they're in slightly different locations. But once you hit Uptown, I'm sure you can find it.
Sure, yeah. One's on Bailey and one's on Philadelphia.
That's right.
Right. Now, the one on Philadelphia, that's the one on Wednesdays, right?
There is no Wednesday market. The Philadelphia market is just in a city-owned parking lot across from Sata, one of our restaurants, and it's on the corner of Philadelphia and Bright, and that's just Friday mornings.
Friday mornings.
And then the new Bailey one, we're closing down Bailey Street right by the new Presbyterian Intercommunity Hospital, PIH Health office building.
Sure. Has the city or yourself maybe have been more mindful about branching off with that idea of farmers market and locally grown independent business spirit and really good quality food for the community, and maybe have been involved in more initiatives regarding farming or promoting trying to control childhood obesity, playgrounds, stuff like that?
We actually do have a group called Activate Whittier, and the city's been a member of that group, and so we have a Kaiser representative and a LA County Public Health representative and a PIH representative and YMCA and several other groups in town have banded together with us to fight childhood obesity.
That's great.
Their latest initiative was to ban outdoor smoking in our parks.
In Whittier.
And so we just started putting up signs that say no smoking in the parks. And, we're not intruding into people's homes or in people's yards, but in a park. Now, for example, at our park concerts, you cannot smoke, even though it's outside.
So the no smoking at Whittier Public Parks, that's already in effect?
It is. The signs are just now going up,
okay.
So I'm uncertain if every park has the signs yet. And that was an initiative of Activate Whittier. They brought it to the council, and there was some public vetting process, allowing public to speak to that. And the council did go ahead and make that, joining, I think, another 140 California cities who've done a similar.
That's fantastic.
Ordinance.
I think that's a direct extension of the farmers market message.
Well, it is.
You know.
It's for health.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
Live food, locally grown, changing your habits, and then having the Activate Whittier in place. I think that's great. A good platform to build off of. Another thing that I believe is connected to that is public transportation in Whittier. Now, the Whittier bus, let's see, I know Montebello Bus Lines comes through Whittier through via the Line 10.
Yes, we have Montebello Bus Line serves Whittier. Norwalk Transit, in part, serves Whittier. And, of course, the Metro buses come through Whittier to all our major shopping areas. And then the county has a free little shuttle in South Whittier that also runs up into the city called the Sunshine Shuttle.
Sunshine, right. But there is a Whittier Transit also.
No longer. We did for a time run our own small circulator, local circulator system, but found that it was repeating a lot of what the other bus lines were doing.
Right.
And so now we've moved more of those funds into a dial-a-ride program. So we have essentially a shared taxi service for senior citizens and for people with disabilities.
Right. So maybe for senior citizens and disabled people who need to get from point A to point B.
Exactly.
It's a direct service. It's not a
curb
public.
to curb.
Right. That's very admirable. I think the message that the show is trying to get across, that you could come see Whittier via public transportation coming from Los Angeles, and it's pretty easy. Just a little time consuming, but it's not that bad because if you're not driving, you could be very productive on your phone.
It's interesting that many parts of Los Angeles are not very walkable or pedestrian friendly, and we're conscious of that when our planners look at an area. We're trying to promote walkability, and we're trying to promote livability as well. And so you might be familiar with the Whittier Greenway Trail. It's a 4.5-mile stretch that runs from Pioneer Boulevard and Beverly Boulevard near the 605 freeway and cuts through the center of town. It goes by commercial, industrial, residential areas, schools, tying the whole community together.
And a lot of the artery goes between Whittier Boulevard and Lambert. I see that.
That's right.
And it's long. And I think one of the highlights of that trail, I've walked it before, is when you walk over the bridge of the 5 points.
Yeah.
That's definitely
we
something.
have an intersection we call 5 points, where 5 streets are coming together, and were old, the trail is built actually on an old abandoned rail line, and so the old railroad bridges go across that area, and so you get this kind of nice high view when
Exactly.
you're up there.
It's a very nice perspective because you're at the 5 points, which is very chaotic because of it's a traffic intersection with 5 streets, and whether you're a pedestrian walking or on a skateboard or driving, I've been on in all perspectives. You got to really pay attention for your safety because it's 5 points.
Yeah.
But from that perspective, you're taking this nice walk in and you're looking at the madness.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting too because Whittier Boulevard's known for, in the 60s it was a big cruising phenomenon.
Absolutely.
The Midnighters had a song called
Let's
Whittier
Take a
Boulevard.
Trip Down Whittier Boulevard,
exactly.
right.
And we have a little interpretive display near those 5-point bridges on the history of transportation along that route. And it goes back into the trains, and the trains were there, of course, because we were agricultural, and they were moving the oranges to market, basically, and the walnuts. And but before that, it was part of El Camino Real, and it was before that Native American pathway. So we interpret that history just as a little exhibit to remind people of where it started.
That's really nice. One of the things in Uptown Whittier I wanted to highlight was the museum.
We have a museum in town, and it's local history. It's small, but it's very interesting and different. And it's open for free every Sunday from 1 to 4. And you could also schedule tours on Tuesdays and Thursdays if you call ahead for an appointment. Whittier Museum has a beautiful artistic mural on the outside of the building that was done by a local artist, and it's a very interesting interpretation of our local history, and it would be a great stop if someone was coming out to visit.
Right. And as far as if you had to put in words to people traveling throughout Southern California to come visit Whittier, what would you say as far as what they could expect? Just in the most simplest words you could put together.
Whittier is a suburb of Los Angeles, had been a bedroom community for the most part, but we have Whittier Boulevard with commercial areas, and we have Uptown Whittier that has a thriving commercial area. So it's a charming, older city that's maintained a lot of our beautiful old architecture and residential.
Absolutely.
We're known as the city of trees, and so we have some beautiful themed street trees going down, huge Canary Island pines on Beverly Boulevard, and beautiful jacarandas that are all in bloom now.
I love that Beverly route from Norwalk east, and you just in front of the houses they have those huge pine trees.
Yeah, also down Pickering Street.
Pickering as well, right?
Yeah, just beautiful trees, tree-lined streets.
And what I try to the message I try to send to people taking public transportation to visit Whittier from Los Angeles is the fact that, you know, if you're coming from the heart of downtown Los Angeles, you could take the Line 18 Metro bus, 6th Street, get off on Garfield, and take the Line 810 bus on the same street, because 6 turns into Whittier. So it's definitely one artery from Whittier to downtown, and actually to the water, you know. So, I mean, if you're going westbound, Whittier, you know, Boulevard turns into 6th Street, and will take you to the water. So it's all pretty simple. I think people get intimidated to venture out past certain areas, but it really is a very simple place to get to coming from Los Angeles. And vice versa. If people want to get out of Whittier for the day and go out to LA without a car, I mean, you could do so quickly and cheaply. But thank you very much, Nancy.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure.
Thanks.
Hey, welcome back to Los Angeles Nista. It's the special edition Vegan Confessions episode. And in front of me, I have 2 vegan cooks who have published books out in the world of publishing.
We do.
To my left, Lane Gold, author of Vegan Junk Food.
Hello.
And directly at 12 o'clock, new to the
We're
show.
looking right at each other.
First time ever.
First time.
All right, I'm going to introduce your working name.
Okay.
I want you
I
to
do have a working name and a real name. Very stripper-like.
Yeah, very stripper-like. Author of the books Happy Hour at Home and The Sexy Vegan.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you The Sexy Vegan.
Hello.
Brian Patton.
Brian Patton.
No,
Yay.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. You revealed my secret identity of Brian
your
Patton.
alter ego, is it?
My alter ego.
Now, you know, we're going to be talking about places in Eagle Rock because that's where Lane's from, and you're on the west side, West LA, Santa Monica.
Yep.
Now, you know, I've had Lane on before, and we highlighted some of her great, you know, concoctions and recipes
Yes.
and talked about.
Thank you for having me back.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yes.
Absolutely. You know, and thanks for sending those pics of your garden.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really great. Very vibrant, very
I'm
healthy.
an avid gardener.
I'm very jealous of her garden.
Are you really?
Well, I'm apartment living for the last 10 years, so I've never really had a place
grow
to
everything.
plant a garden.
Right. That's pretty much the norm for a
Yeah.
lot of people in LA is like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
apartment life, and
Yeah.
space is an issue.
It is.
You
It
know,
is.
because LA is just so everyone's so immersed
Packed
in LA
in.
now, and it's like, okay, well, if you live in a nice big apartment, it's still like concrete life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So not a lot of farming
No.
and gardening, right?
I'm all about gardening.
Okay, let's talk about how you guys met.
We met
The dynamic duo of vegan.
Yeah.
we met at Natural Product Expo West, and I promised Brian a book, but then he came to see me, and
she texted me
gave
earlier in
away
the day,
his
or like it
book.
was on Instagram or Twitter, and she said, "Come by such and such stand. I'm down here. I'll give you one of my books," because I didn't have a copy of her book. And then I get there, and she's like, "Oh, I gave it to the vegan zombie, who is another guy.
That's
from the
another guy.
internet. That's another guy."
Right.
And I was like,
I'm
"Well,
sorry.
yeah." So I still don't have a book. She knew she was coming to me today. I still have no book.
I'm sorry.
In all fairness, I didn't bring a book for her, so I guess we're even.
I
Yeah,
ordered
we're
your
even,
book this week.
Even Steven. Okay, so Brian, I got a question for you.
Shoot.
So your first book was called The Sexy Vegan.
The Sexy Vegan
Okay.
Cookbook, yeah.
Now let's talk about some of your recipes in there,
Okay.
and the things you have to offer.
Sure.
Now, to my understanding, being an all-around eater, I eat vegan. I mean, I've had friends make me soy riso,
Sure.
and vegan bacon and all this, and substitutes with cheese for melts and all that. let's talk about some of your breakfast.
Oh, all right.
Recipes. What are some of your personal favorites that are in the book?
I think the best one is called it's got a long name. It's called the mostest ultimatest breakfast sandwich in the history of the universe. and it is basically an English muffin. It's like a Egg McMuffin on crack and everything else, but with no meat, no egg, no cheese. It's got veggie sausage. It's got basically this sauteed tofu and veggie bacon and mayo and lettuce and tomato and just all this great goodness.
All the good veggies.
All the good
goodness.
veggies. Yeah.
Let's stop right there. I want to back up. Okay, so when you saute tofu,
Yeah.
how does that react versus sauteing bell peppers?
Well, tofu's tricky sometimes because it would have the tendency to stick because it has some moisture in it. So if you cut just like a square piece of tofu or a rectangular piece of tofu like I do for what I'm talking about, you want to have some oil in the pan, and then when you place the tofu in the pan, you want to not touch it and mess with it too much because that'll make it more likely to stick. You just put it in and you just leave it. You let it sit there for like 5 minutes and don't touch it at all. And it will get this brown crust on the bottom, which is very delicious. And also it will prevent it from sticking to the pan. I've seen people cook tofu and chop it into little blocks and they throw it in the pan and then they're messing with it the whole time.
Sure.
And it just gets stuck all over the place because it doesn't have a chance to grow that sort of non-stick crust on it, I guess, which sounds gross, but it's delicious.
Right. and if you're just patient, it'll grow that in the pan.
Totally.
And you're able to move it around.
And then you're able to flip it, move it around, and you'll have a nice texture on the outside, nice texture on the inside, and it won't stick to your pan.
Very cool. Now, as far as thank you for that.
Yeah.
As far as the breakfast meal in your book, what are some of your favorites in vegan junk food? Is there anything that's in line with a breakfast meal?
I have a lot of casseroles in my book, but I think my favorite. Okay, fine. I love potatoes.
It's okay. You could say that.
Yes,
it's
allowed.
It's not bad.
I love potatoes. I love potatoes fried in a saucepan with onions and chorizo. Fine, that's what I like.
That's what you like.
Yes.
Now, as far as back to Brian.
Yes.
When you come to a conclusion that you're going to make a vegan book and call it The Sexy Vegan.
Right.
Let's talk about the vision of the book.
Sure.
Like let's talk about when that happened and how it happened.
Right. Okay. Well, it started, I had become vegan and I was only vegan for a few months. And basically I became vegan because I was working for this vegan delivery service. It's called Veggin' Out. We deliver a whole week's worth of fully prepared meals.
Cool.
And it's all vegan. It's in LA. And so I'd started working for them. I was not vegan. I was really not healthy at the time, and I thought I'll try this vegan thing for a few months or whatever, and so I tried it and I really liked the way I felt. I dropped weight. I just had all this great energy. So a few months into that, I thought, oh, yeah, somebody told me about youtube.com, and this was like in 2006.
Right.
So I was like, what is that? And they were like, you could do this. I was like, no way. So I thought, okay, I'll do a little video cooking demo.
Oh, great.
And so I posted the video. I called it The Sexy Vegan because I thought people would click on it. And it just got this sort of following. So then a book publisher contacted me after a few years of doing these videos and said, hey, we saw your videos. Do you want to do a book? So I was already called The Sexy Vegan, and then I was asked to do a book. It's like a crazy story, but that's how it happened.
There's nothing wrong with calling yourself The Sexy Vegan.
No,
hey, that's what you call creating your world.
It is, and it was obviously just a joke, and like, you know how you call a fat guy tiny? Like, it was that. And it just became like a thing. So now it's a thing, and now there's 2 books, which is pretty ridiculous.
Right. Now let's segue into that.
Yeah.
Happy hour at
home. Yeah.
So it's about vegan drinks and appetizers.
Yeah, it's
That's
small.
my favorite.
Yeah. I knew you'd love it.
I love drinks.
Yes.
Drinks are my favorite.
And so it's there's small plates, sort of tapas style menus. It's broken up into menus, and then I make some signature cocktails or some just unique cocktails. I use some fresh vegetable juices like carrot juice and orange juice.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of those great cocktails that have a huge or rooted in like some freshly squeezed juice.
Sure. Actually, the one that I love the most, it's made with tomatillos, juiced tomatillos. It's called the Bloody Vulcan.
Okay.
Because the Bloody Mary is obviously red with tomatoes, so Vulcans have green blood. Therefore, the green drink, it gets all geeky.
It's
up
so
in there.
nerdy.
It gets all geeky. So it's
Now, is that Star Trek?
that is Star
Are
Trek.
you a Star Trek
That
guy?
is so
I am a Star
nerdy.
Trek guy.
No
yes.
Star Wars for you then.
No, both.
Oh,
both,
duality.
Definitely. Oh, duality.
Because some
yeah.
are they're purists.
There is. I get that, but I don't get that. How could you like? It's great science fiction either way you look at it. Well, how could you? Like, I mean, I see there's a debate. Which do you like better?
Right.
But I mean, you got to love both.
Yeah.
You got to love both. I
I don't know
love
if
both.
you have to.
Exactly.
No, you have to.
I don't know.
There's no one or the other. It's both.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So
Lane disagrees.
So Lane, I got a question for you. How long have you been vegan for?
I've been vegan for a really long time. It's hard to put my finger on it because I grew up in a vegetarian house and I sort of evolved into a vegan very sort of naturally, and it's been a very long time.
Now, let's talk Eagle Rock.
I love Eagle Rock.
Yeah, you know what's awesome? I love when you want to leave Hollywood and go to Eagle Rock, you take the 180 bus.
Yes.
And I'll take you right there. A lot of people don't know that, so that's my job is to let people know how to get from point A to point B.
Right.
Green Initiative car free and eating vegan, right?
You can also take the 780, which is the
Rapid.
The Rapid.
Yeah, same route pretty much.
Yes.
780 or the 180. Now let me ask you a question about Eagle Rock. What vegan places, even though you cook a lot of your own food because of the industry you're in, when you want to go eat vegan in Eagle Rock, are there places?
There's lots of places. I love Blue Hen, which is Vietnamese, and they have amazing vegan food. But pretty much, like, you can walk into any, there's also Fatty's, which is a devoted vegan restaurant, and there's also lots of vegan pizza joints.
Uh-huh.
And lots of Mexican restaurants where you can walk in and just sort of say what you want. So Eagle Rock is very vegan friendly. Coffee Table has an entire Sunday brunch devoted to vegan food, and you can get cocktails.
Coffee Table is what it's called?
Coffee Table, yeah.
Right, so it's like a buffet?
It's not a
Brunch
buffet, but you can just order a vegan tofu scramble, and you can get mimosas.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, well, mimosas are always
Now,
good.
Brian, focusing on some of the areas you know best, let's talk West LA. When you are going out to eat, what are some of your favorite vegan places to patronize?
West LA, and I'm sort of near Westwood, so you have Native Foods right there in Westwood.
Wow, I've heard of that.
Native Foods is really great.
Scorpion Burger.
Scorpion Burger is pretty
Scorpion
badass.
Burger. Tell me about that.
Oh, the Scorpion Burger, is that a seitan? I think that's tempeh.
Yes.
And with seitan on top of it or something.
And vegan cheese.
And vegan cheese, and caramelized onions or something. And they also have the Oklahoma bacon barbecue burger. It's just thinly sliced seitan. Seitan is it's made out of wheat gluten. It's sort of like a wheat-based meat. And
It's fermented.
No, tempeh is fermented.
Yeah, tempeh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, what are we done? Oh, yeah, the tempeh and the Scorpion Burger is fermented. The seitan is just this thinly sliced. It's sort of like a sliced roast beef sort of texture to it, and they just slather it with this vegan cashew cheese and tempeh bacon. I think they have tofu bacon there, and these deep fried pickle chips, which are awesome.
Okay, great.
So Native Foods is near me in West LA is probably the place that I like the best. Yeah, for sure.
And what about a second runner-up for you in the area?
Well, as far as frequency of places that I go, it's not really vegan. There's a sushi place at the end of my block. It's called N Sushi, and they have a good amount of they have a couple veggie rolls, but they also have some great appetizers like sautéed garlic green beans and shishito, those little peppers that they saute, and some sautéed mushrooms. So I go there. Basically, because all my neighbors go there, and we just go down there and have a bunch of sake, and I get a bunch of appetizers, and I could walk there, and I could walk home, and it's pretty nice.
No drinking and driving.
No drinking and driving.
DUIs, no
drinking
DUIs.
and walking.
Drinking and walking,
Yeah.
right? And as long as you don't have a container open,
That's right.
Yeah, you're fine.
You're good to go.
Now let's talk substitutes in vegan.
Sure.
Now let me start with Lane here. We're talking about wheat-based meat, right? Now, now when it comes to meats, we're talking burgers, you say wheat-based. When there's a vegan burger patty, is there other options than wheat?
Yeah, you could do a black bean burger with chilies and maybe brown rice. I actually tend not to eat like the gluten-based burgers that come from the store. They're not my favorite thing.
Okay, and what about you, Brian?
Yeah, homemade, what she's talking about, usually like a good veggie burger will have like some sort of bean, a grain, and a bunch of chopped up vegetables in it. And chilies, definitely chilies. So yeah, I really enjoy a veggie burger patty that's more, that there's vegetables in it. You can see the vegetables, not as far, not so much a processed store-bought thing or, loaded with wheat gluten type of patty. I like to have actual vegetables. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, Lane, as far as the, I don't want to say popularity, but the growth of the vegan lifestyle.
Yeah.
And that leads, when there's more of a demand, you have to fill that demand. So this is a question for both of you. Let's start with Lane. Have you noticed just more square restaurants, square meaning non-vegan places, offering vegan menus, and maybe more room for you to do another book because more people want to go vegan?
Absolutely. I mean, when I was a kid and we were vegetarian, like we were like the weird people, and we shopped at like the health food stores, and like there were not a
Hippies?
lot. Well,
No.
I wouldn't call it hippies because it seems kind of derogatory, but I do identify with being a hippie. But there was not a lot of options, and now it seems like I could, my friends always say, "Oh, you're vegan, where can we go?" But I really feel like I could pretty much go into any restaurant and like look on the menu and find something, to eat.
Or just make a few easy alterations to a menu. And
yeah, absolutely.
You become like a menu ninja when you become vegan. Like even if you're not at a vegan restaurant,
here's a menu. It's not
give me
vegan.
a menu. I'll make a vegan meal out of it. Like it's
side.
It's just part of our training that happens. It's
vegan ninja.
Yeah, vegan menu ninja. When you look at a menu, you can it's almost like stuff highlights like automatically.
It sounds
you just see,
that should be like a nice blog.
I think we've renamed ourselves. I think I've named myself the Vegan Goddess, and you're the Vegan Ninja.
The Vegan Menu Ninja.
Yeah.
Yes, very, very specific. I'm only a ninja with menus. Yes.
TM.
So I mean, so let's talk about the demand. Obviously, there's a bigger demand for vegan style of living. And then, but both of you are doing books, and I'm asking you about walking into restaurants and putting together vegan meals.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the demand for vegan. Does that mean that in your line of work, there's more growth on a business level, more opportunities?
Oh, certainly. Well, for instance, the company that I work for now, I'm the executive chef there at Veg and Out. When I started with them 6.5 years ago or so, we were only doing 10, 15 orders a week. And since then, now we're doing 60, 70, 80 orders per week. So
that's like 6 times the amount.
Yeah. Yes. Good math. Yes. And so, I mean, that's just something I've seen in my personal life, but also just, as far as the demand goes, I was at my bachelor party in Atlantic City, New Jersey, okay, of all places. And we ended up, we had dinner plans for the Saturday night, and there was this crazy storm and all the power got knocked out. So we had to go to this different restaurant. And it was just this Italian restaurant called Carmine's. I'm like, oh, this is going to be...
Of course, Carmine's.
Yeah. And we walk in, and it's a dude with the big pinky ring. Like, I was walking into Goodfellas, white tablecloths, all this. I'm like, there's not going to be anything. I'm going to have spaghetti and olive oil, and that's it. And so I started to explain to the waiter, I always start with, I'm vegetarian, I'm vegan, but I don't eat this. And before I finish the word vegetarian, he's like, wait. He comes back with a fully vegan menu. It says, these are not... made with chicken stock. These
at
are
a Goodfellas Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
So even they're conforming to the demand.
So if in Atlantic City, New Jersey, in an Italian restaurant that has a specific vegan menu, that's pretty impressive. And that's really showing that there's demand that there was not before.
Yeah, that is pretty impressive because that means the framework is changing.
Sure, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
What about totally packaged vegan food at supermarkets? Products, is that happening more also?
Absolutely. When I was a kid, we used to stop at the health food store, and it was nowhere near the amount of diversity you can buy now, from kale chips to vegan like meat amalgamations. It's just, you know, it's there's so many options for vegans.
Right. Brian, tell me about something in your book that's linear to Mexican food. Like a Mexican dish with vegan substitutes.
Okay.
Whether, you know, it's enchiladas or
Yeah, I
tacos.
do a... What do I do? What is it?
Or something you could share that's not in your book that you could give us.
Yes, I do
some pointers
salsa.
on.
Oh, no. I definitely do like a big giant plate of nachos. I don't know how Mexican nachos actually are.
Right.
Well, we're
but-
talking about LA.
Yeah, okay. Okay, then that's fine. And you know, basically, it's all about like this cashew cheese that you make, and
Cashew cheese. That sounds very interesting.
You take raw cashews. You can soak them in water overnight to soften them up. You put them in a blender. There's a bunch of different spices and stuff that you put in with it, and a bunch of additives like miso and nutritional yeast flakes.
Do you use probiotics?
I just started because I got the Artisan Vegan Cheese book that Miyoko Shinner wrote.
Yeah.
And so I've started working with culturing vegan cheeses. And it really works. Like I just did a cheddar one. I just did a mock goat cheese, and they're mostly cashew based. And you make this sort of probiotic drink called Rejuvelac, and it's really easy. It sounds weird. It is kind of weird, but it's this culturing agent. So you make this. So, like for instance, I made a vegan nacho cheese in one of my books, and
Very cool.
but what I would do with that now is I would take that mixture, add this probiotic drink, and let it culture, and it would give it this like real cheesy flavor because that's how real cheeses are made. So it's a really cool thing that I'm getting into now.
You know, it's funny when you bring up the nachos, and the question is that really Mexican food? It's really funny because there's a place that opened up around the corner called Mas Malo, and I had the executive chef in here, Robert Luna.
I love that restaurant.
Yeah, and
Well, I love their drinks.
yeah, and the angle is East LA comfort food,
Right.
and everything is just kind of, you know, it's like the diversity of LA. I think there's a food revolution going on as far as things being mixed in, hybrids. You know what I mean?
Well,
Whether
LA
it's
is a
hybrid.
is a hybrid of a city. Like
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly. It's funny because nachos, I think it's fair to say, yeah, it is very Mexican because that's my opinion. Because you know what? Every taco stand has them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
that's every taqueria has them, you know, and it's just part of it's a component in the menu. So I just wanted to touch base on that. I think it's
Good.
pretty authentic.
Okay.
And it's up to you. I mean, think about it. You could cover it with, you know, meat, beans, and cheese, right? And any other toppings. And I mean, come on. I mean, why can't you put, no offense, goat, birria nachos, or get experimental? You know how that
La
would be.
lengua.
Right. Yeah.
you know.
The one I make has a tempeh chorizo that I make. So, you know, tempeh chorizo, some refried beans, some of the cashew cheese, and a bunch of tomatoes and scallions and all a bunch of good stuff.
Yeah. Can we talk about the place you're executive chef at?
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So how long has that place been in business? Do you know?
It's actually been in business for over 10 years. I've been working with them for about 6.5 years. It's
Very
called, like I
cool.
said, it's called Veggin' Out. You know, you can find them at veggingout.com. And we deliver a whole week's worth of fully prepared meals. So, and it's all vegan, of course. And we have a different menu each week.
So it changes. It rotates.
changes. I change the menu each week. You go to the website, you order by Friday, it gets delivered to you on Monday. It's about 10 meals, so it'd be lunch and dinner for you for 5 days
Monday
or so.
through Friday, whatever.
Monday through Friday. And it's really affordable because we use organic produce, but it's all sort of local, and because we only deliver on one day, we can keep the price down because we only cook on one day, we deliver on one day, and we make sure that we make things that are gonna stay fresh for your whole week. So it's kind of a weird balancing act when doing the menu because you can only, you know.
There's definitely a strategy in place.
There's a big strategy because you don't want to have too many of one ingredient in a menu, and you're having 8 different dishes on each menu. So it's kind of challenging, but it's a great service. And
So how does the service operate? People order online?
yeah, you can just order right on our website, and you go to the main page, veggingout.com. You see our menu. There's an order button. You place your order, and then it gets delivered to you on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, and it sounds like an independently run
Yes.
place.
Yeah. Basically, my friend and his brother started it like 10 years ago, like in their apartment.
Wow.
So we're not in an apartment anymore.
Well,
we're
right,
in like a commercial kitchen.
right.
But that, sometimes things start in an apartment. What are you going to do?
Yeah, boutique
That's right.
business.
That's right.
And great things come from people with independent minds, like that.
Totally.
Now let's talk to Lane about food development, product development. You're involved in that, as well as putting out Vegan Junk Food, the book, and you are working on a new book that you've been working on. You're also developing food.
I do product development. One of my clients is Sea Snacks, and they do like a seaweed based food, and I've developed a new product line for them. And I also go into restaurants and say, I think you guys would do really well with a vegan menu, and I take everything in their kitchen and I produce a vegan menu for them.
Very nice.
From the ingredients that they already carry.
Yes,
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah.
Now, as far as like, for instance, with the seaweed snacks, what are you coming up with?
Well, actually, Brian tasted my seaweed snacks.
That's where we met at the. She said, "Come to the Sea Snacks.
Right.
Come to the Sea Snacks
At
booth at the
West.
Expo West."
Right.
Yes.
And how healthy is seaweed?
It's
right?
really
Oh,
healthy. It's full of minerals and lots of things that are not really found in the standard American diet.
Ah.
Yeah.
So we're going
seaweed
to
is very healthy.
Yeah.
And it's good
Iodine
too.
and
Yes.
yeah, all good stuff.
from the ocean floor.
Yes.
We're going to take a short break. We're going to eat some goodies that Lane brought for us, some vegan
did,
goodies,
yeah.
and
Oh,
we'll
I
come
didn't
back and
bring
let you know how good they were.
Load it up, take a ride. Tap on both sides. If you don't have your fare today, $250 fine, okay. Tap card. Tap card. Tap card. T-A-P. Load it up, take a ride. Tap on both sides. If you don't have your fare today, $250 final cash. Drop card. Drop card. Tap card. T-A-P. Tap card. Tap card. Tap card. T-A-P. I was a good sport, and let them kick me upside the head. I was a good sport. Whenever they asked, I said yes. Good sport. Just the ball you throw around. Try to shit all over town. Just the ball you throw around. Till all the air is let out. stop. I'm a threat. You're a fool. Try to discredit me and discredit you. Your enemy, you'll never know. It's not me, it's your own shadow. Here I am, as free as the wind. I'll never bow down, you will never win. Here I am.
Hey, welcome back to Los Angeles Nista. My two in-studio guests for the second hour is Lane Gold and the sexy vegan, a.k.a.
Brian Patton.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? Greatest thing about this is when you guys actually met up a while back, you guys met at a destination and took the bus. And that's the thread that, you know, this show and all the episodes, you know, thrive on, is showing people how to take public transportation, talk about areas and all these destinations, whether it's a restaurant or a skate shop. And was that your first experience, Brian?
That was, well, yeah, pretty much. Unless you count like the Santa Monica shuttle that goes from Santa Monica to the Hollywood Bowl, although I don't think that quite counts as public transportation. That's sort of a more luxury direct shuttle.
Right.
But as far as living in LA, yeah, this was my first time taking.
And where'd you go? From where to where?
I started in Culver City and I went to Hollywood. So I did have to switch buses one time, and I was very afraid of that. But it worked out fine. I got to my destination and we had lunch. You know, it was on time and it was relatively easy. I really didn't do much research or anything. I'm like, I have Google Maps on my phone. I know that if I put in a destination, it will tell me, you know, the mass transit routes from that, you know, for that area. I had just been in Portland a couple weeks before for a vegan blogger conference called Vita
cool.
Vegan Con. And so that's a very public transit oriented town. They have trains, like you're driving on the road and there's like a rail car like right next to you. So the rail cars go right up the street. There's plenty of buses. And I sort of warmed up there because we had to use public transit there. So that was my warm up public transit. And then we met up for lunch the other day. And yeah, it was really easy. Like it was surprisingly easy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And Lane, tell me your favorite bus line in LA.
I guess it has to be the 780, which I took to meet Brian because it passes by like so many iconic places in LA, you know, like Atwater Village, Griffith Park, the depths of Hollywood, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You know, you go by the Roosevelt and the El Capitan and Hollywood and Sunset. And it's just, I love the 780. Plus it's a rapid.
Very well done.
Yes.
Now, Brian, tell us where to buy your books.
You can buy it wherever books are sold, including Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble.
Direct? They get them direct from you? Also, like online?
Yeah, you can just go to thesexyvegan.com. You can also get the book there as well.
Great.
And I'm at Barnes & Noble. I'm at Amazon. I'm also in every Urban Outfitters store in America and UK.
Ooh, I need to get on that one. How do I get in there? I need to get in there.
I'll talk to you later.
Louise.
I'll give you some info
I
later.
need that one. Urban Outfitters.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us tonight on Los Angeles Nista.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
having
so
us
much,
back.
Eddie. It's great.
We'll catch you next time.
Good night.
SKI